population of the world is so huge that the energy will never be sufficient for all of us.
I'd like to pick up on that and completely agree with your comments that the scale of the challenge is enormous.
How realistic and how necessary would you see a real, efficient European common energy market?
Stop the spat with the Chinese. Let the Chinese, if they subsidize our solar cells, let them do it.
We won't be able to reach our renewables target in a sustainable way.
Have we been a bit too blind, only relying on renewable energy?
Shale may help us in terms of energy security and possibly also in terms of air quality. It's not immediately obvious how it's consistent with the carbon debate.
There's a real need, especially in Europe, to strengthen the what I would call the coordination possibilities and also the monitoring instrument.
In practice, phasing down the nuclear still in Europe, it means increasing the fossils. That's the fact.
Having a real internal market, having predictability and stability, having a good measurement of the cost effectiveness of the use of public expenditure is, I would say, a precondition to answer the questions raised by the triangle: competitiveness, energy security and sustainability.
If we would have, let's say, the perfect European electricity grid, of course, the sun is not always shining in the whole of Europe, the wind is not blowing everywhere at the same time, at the same speed. So if we would have a good interconnectivity in the EU already, we could at least partly solve this problem.
In terms of setting forward goals, that this was a pioneer initiative by the European Union that helped to structure discussions on a global level. The most spectacular one being the ETS scheme.
I personally believe that emissions trading would be a good tool to reduce emissions if we want. Anyway, it's a practical way to find the lowest possible reduction method from the market.
We could secure a real lead in here in the European Union if we wanted to, and that is the technology of biomethane. So biomethane, for those that are not familiar, it's a gas. It's chemically the same as natural gas. It's CH4, but it's generated from waste, organic waste. This is something which has already gone through one part of the carbon cycle. So by burning it, you're carbon neutral. It's a tremendous technology with great potential, and we've been trialing this technology. It's very successful.
At the moment, increasing renewables is not possible without abundant national subsidies. And this not only distorts the energy markets, but also prevents the renewables from becoming really profitable.
The public authority has to intervene also in financial terms and in terms of taxation and subvention subsidies to overcome this transition period. But as soon as possible, we have to give more room, more scope for the normal markets to function.
It requires encouragement, incentive, some taxation where appropriate. All of these measures that we've been talking about, some regulation, all in balance, but in a way that encourages the private sector to do what it's ready to do. I think in overall terms, the EU has done a good job of finding a balance.
The alternative should be to continually reduce the cost of renewable energy until it undercuts the fossil alternatives. The end result would then be low-cost renewable energy, and this must be also the global challenge. It's difficult, but I see it's the only possibility that is fair.